Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Derek. Welcome to Men of the Den, and this is Monday.
Eggs Benedict!
Alright everyone, welcome to Men of the Den this week. It is collaboration week here on the Den, and we have horror movie enthusiast slash critic and Men of the Den fan, Jon Dickinson.
Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Hey guys.
How's it going over in the UK today?
It's not bad. The sun's out, which is quite rare, so I'm in a good mood, yeah.
We've had a weird weather day where it's been snowing a week before June.
Not for us, thank God.
Okay.
When I got out of the barber today, it was hailing, then it was sunny, and then it was raining. It was just, it changed, much like they say in the weather in Halifax, it changes every 5 minutes.
Yeah, can't make up its mind. I think we get a little bit of the UK weather over here, you know, being New Scotland and all.
Well, that's fine. It's sent it your way, so we don't have to have it, so it's all
That's
good.
pretty much the case.
All right, so I've been seeing on Facebook, you've been pretty amped, excited to see the Poltergeist 3. Did you see it, and what did you think?
Yeah, so I saw it last night, directed by Gil Keenan, I think that's his name, starring Sam Rockwell and a whole host of different people, but it's a remake of the Toby Hooper classic. Kind of, when I saw the trailers and everything for it, I pretty much sat on the fence, so I wasn't quite sure whether it was going to be good or whether it was going to be bad. But no, sure enough, I went with a few friends last night, sat there and watched it. I watched it in 2D, didn't go and see it in 3D. But it was actually better than I thought it would have been, which was quite surprising. It's very much on point in terms of hitting the same beats that the original did. And it kind of brings it up to speed, kind of modern times, taking into account, you know, the kind of economy and how people have been affected by it. And just kind of throwing in there a few other things, such as like reality television as well. I did Seville and Miss Tangina. I have to say it, you know, Tangina's amazing. But as a whole, it's got quite a... it's got quite a few jump scares which are okay, but it kind of used far too much CGI, and by the end of it, I was
It
like,
takes too much out of it.
yeah. But in short, definitely worth watching. I wouldn't stretch to watch it in 3D by any means. Just go see it, make up your own opinion, because at the end of the day, no one should tell you what your opinion is. I can only tell you what I think of the film. But yeah, check it out. And if you're scared of clowns, like I am,
Me too.
yeah, exactly. There'll be a little part that no doubt will kind of freak you out as it did me. But yeah.
But out of the remakes of horror movies, what would you say is some of the better remakes that are out there?
Oh, that's a good question.
No.
What are the best remakes? See, right here to my right is pretty much like a little part of my DVD collection. But I don't think I have any remakes. Nope, I do like. There is one remake, like here, like right there. But
Wow.
I really enjoyed the Evil Dead remake.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And I kind of like the remake of I Spit on Your Grave and the Amityville Horror. But in terms of Nightmare on Elm Street, whoa.
Yes, they did They actually did a surprisingly good job with Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't know.
It wasn't perfect, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I went in there with hopes that it would be quite good because I actually enjoyed the remake of Friday the 13th, and it's by the same people, so it's kind of like, this might go somewhere, but the kind of direction that they took Freddy Krueger, who, let's be honest, is one of the most iconic characters in horror, especially modern horror. And then, do you know what they did with him? It was just strange. It was very ballsy.
It was a tough sell. It really was.
I obviously got hooked. I went and saw it. I just wasn't happy with the end product.
Yeah. You know, overall, I find I'm not happy with most of the remakes that have came out of these movies, so I don't hold a lot of hope for Poltergeist, unfortunately. I've been burned too many times by the remakes.
Yeah, well, the book was good, and the point is with Poltergeist, the remake is made by the same team behind it. You know, you have the producers, such as it's Bob Talbot and Sam Raimi. You know, Sam Raimi, who directed the original Evil Dead, and he just went on there, and he did a really good job with The Grudge, and I was quite surprised here, even though it was fun. It just wasn't. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, John. So, what was the last movie that scared you?
Okay. Oh god, it's actually quite difficult for a film to scare me. Simply because I've been watching horror films since I was like 6. No lie. But the last film that actually scared me. Okay, there is a independent film called Creep, which is directed by a guy called Patrick Rice, and it's basically a film that he stars in as well, and he answers a Craigslist ad to go and film essentially what are to be the last days of this guy's life. As he arrives at the property, he meets the guy, and it turns out that the reason why he was kind of put up there is not all what it seems. And what follows is the tensest 90 minutes from that I've ever seen, to the point where I was literally really unnerved by what was happening. And then, of course, the ending. But if you talk sort of like mainstream, I'm a sucker for home invasion. Anything to do with home invasion, that really scares me. A house is my castle. So as a result of that, anyone trying to invade that is a bit... So I think, kind of taken from that, perhaps a film called The Strangers, if you might have heard of it.
Yeah, I heard of that one, yeah.
Just because that seems so realistic. And
it did. It very much did.
Exactly. It reminds me of a film called Eden Lake, which stars Michael Fassbender, which is definitely worth checking out. And the fear from it is the fact that stuff like that can really happen. But yeah, that's probably my answer. So ignore The Strangers and let's go with Eden Lake.
Okay. All right, it's perfect. So what's next here? Now, for us who don't know what we're doing, we are going through the old Q&A database. John's been one of the biggest contributors here for some of the questions. Now, what do you think of the new look of the Joker from Suicide Squad?
Right, okay. Jared Leto as Joker. What do I think? I'm always up for a fresh take on something classic. You know, the whole tattoos is the main thing that really worries me. I think it's one step too far. I don't mind the fact that Jared Leto looks completely different from the style of, you know, Jack Nicholson in Batman or Heath Ledger in Dark Knight. You know, it's kind of, yeah. But I hope he's going to do well. We all know that Jared Leto is a phenomenal actor, so I hope he pulls it out of the bag. So, you know, looks on everything. Joker is known to kind of dress in certain ways, so maybe it's just one part of his persona. You know, kind of like, this is what it looks like for one bit, but then he'll look like something else the next. So, I'm all for it.
So which Doctor Who would you be the companion for?
Oh, it's easy. It's David Tennant.
You should always have the same answer.
That was my answer as well.
His particular Doctor, I'm not a massive fan of Doctor Who, but I know a lot of you guys are, which is the reason why I asked that question. But David Tennant, he's the one that I've seen the most of.
Me too.
And it's fun. I had the chance to actually meet Matt Smith not too long ago, and he seemed really good, but there's just something about his Doctor that didn't quite sit right. But of course, yeah, David Tennant, all the way.
All right. So who would be your favorite on-screen movie villain, TV or movie?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a really good question. I would have to probably go with Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus.
Yes, that's an awesome answer.
Yeah.
I would never have thought of that one. That's awesome.
I like a villain who's not just all evil. I kind of like the theatrics of Bette Midler's part. You know, her lines are just quotable, and we've all sung "I Put a Spell on You." You know, that's
true. We all have.
Exactly. And you know, if they ever made a musical out of Hocus Pocus, I would do that.
All right. And one last question: if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I'm a big fan of kind of Scarlet Witch's powers, so kind of being able to manipulate kind of forces and throw them. So I think a step away from that, something with a lot more power behind it. So probably pyrokinesis or something like that, the ability to obviously wield fire and just to like, there we go. You know, just don't mess with me because you'll get burned.
5.
Okay, everyone. Well, that's it for this week. We both want to thank John for coming on this week And we hope you guys enjoyed listening to this, us banter back and forth about all this stuff. I wanted to remind everyone out there that Tidal Wave is coming, so you've got Derek and Greg and Wednesday Bear Aaron all going to be there at Tidal Wave. We're going to have a number of meetups set up, including a meetup at Epcot on the Sunday. Keep an eye out on the Facebook page. All that will be advertised about when the meetups will be.
Yeah, and there's also be a poolside hangout on the Saturday evening, sometime after the mass wedding. Right. Well, anyways, that was our video this week. John, do you want to close us out?
Sure. Thanks for watching. Again, I've been John.
Yay!
So, do everything you need to do on YouTube. Click like, subscribe, make sure you join the discussion, and share on your social media pages as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
All right, thanks, John.
No worries.
All right, everyone. Enjoy your week.